always wanted to be a cowboy.
Me too.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Saturday, June 13th, 2015. We're 24 hours away from Money in the Bank. I'm your host, Flyin Ryan, alongside my tag team partner, Mike the Hammer. What's up, Mike?
I've dined with kings and queens and slept in alleys and eaten pork and beans.
Welcome to the Wrestlinks Review. The wrestling world is celebrating the life and mourning the loss of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. We lost a great one, Mike.
Yeah, that was. I was shocked to see it. I actually saw on our Facebook page was the first thing I saw that Dusty Rhodes was trending, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And whipped over and checked some news sites and saw that he had died, and was a little surprised by that.
We're going to play a little tribute to the great one, the great American, the Dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all know that Dusty Rhodes has been injured. Well, we want to welcome back tonight Dusty Rhodes for his first interview since his injury. Here is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And Dusty, your fans welcome you back, man.
First of all, I would like to thank the many fans throughout this country that wrote cards and letters to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, while I was down. Secondly, I want to thank Jim Crockett Promotions for waiting and taking the time, because I know how important it was. Starcade 85 it is to the wrestling fans, it is to Jim Crockett Promotions. And Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, with that weight, got what I wanted. Ric Flair, the world's heavyweight champion. I don't have to say a lot more about the way I feel about Ric Flair. No respect, no honor. There is no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years, they give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time.
That's hard times, Daddy.
Hard times. Dusty's gone. Yeah, that's too bad. I wasn't. I knew of Dusty from the wrestling magazines when I was a kid, because I mainly was watching WWE, and then he came over, and I was kind of getting out of wrestling at that point. He came over with the polka dots and stuff, and I don't know, it didn't make that big of a splash in the WWE, but definitely entertaining. And I loved him. I've been watching a lot on the network, the Legends of Wrestling, and it was always great when he was on there, because he could tell such good stories about the stuff that happened and the different characters and whatnot. So
I think we can expect to see a tribute this Monday.
Yeah,
on Raw.
I was even wondering if they do something at Money in the Bank for him, or if they wait till Raw. But yeah, they'll definitely be doing something. Stardust has been around, but I think Goldust has been out. So I don't know if he'll be involved or what the deal will be. But yeah,
it's great to be back here on the Wrestlinks Review.
We missed a little time.
We missed some time.
I was on the DL. I got injured, ruptured Achilles.
Mike the Hammer did a moonsault off the top rope, and he landed wrong on the outside of the ring.
Had to have a little surgery, a little recovery, but we're back now. We've missed quite a bit. In following up on that Dusty Rhodes, we also lost Vern Gagne, I think, since we've recorded the last time. A local guy, another person that had a huge impact on wrestling. We talked about him a little bit with the Ric Flair book a few shows ago. That first class of people that he trained in here that had Flair, Iron Sheik, Ken Patera, Jim Brunzell, and then his son Greg Gagne. He died. I don't know if I ever read what actually happened with him. It could have just been old age, but AWA was huge here. Did you watch the AWA at all as a kid?
Not very much, no.
That's what I started with. That was what was on in this area. But you had the Road Warriors. There were a lot of people came through here. The impact, I think, of Gagne on the business is still definitely seen today.
Yeah, great legend. I was reading on the dirt sheets that Bob Backlund showed up at Gagne's funeral and cut a promo during the services.
Really?
I don't know if that's true or not, but
That's weird.
I can picture that.
Odd place to do it, but yeah. So a lot of stuff we missed. Do you want to? Should we just dive right into everything that we've?
Yeah, let's
been
take a
gone for?
look back at King of the Ring, which came and went.
Yeah, there was some interesting stuff here, and it started on Raw, then carried over to the network. Again, I think it was another one of those deals where they're trying to draw people in to get the network. The tournament, what did it have? 8 guys in it. The first round had Ziggler versus Barrett, and Ziggler loses to Barrett on a Sheamus distraction. Then I think we had possibly the highlight of the first round. We had R-Truth versus Stardust, and Truth had made some comment about being scared of spiders. So Stardust comes out with the bag a la Jake the Snake, only much smaller, and the commentators are speculating what was in the bag, and at some point he spilled it out and it was little plastic fake spiders. Scares oh wait, no, did Truth win that match? I have down that Truth won. Was it the other way around?
Yeah, he won the first round.
Okay, so he won there.
Or no, Bad News beat R-Truth.
In the second round, yeah.
I think you were thinking of just a regular match.
The Ambrose Sheamus was the bottom part of the bracket. It was a DQ. Sheamus won. Neville over Luke Harper. Neville won that one. So second round, Bad News Barrett beat Truth, and Neville beat Sheamus, setting up the final of Bad News Barrett and Neville. And obviously we have King Barrett, so King Barrett won the thing.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Neville, though, he's really making an impact. What's he been around 2 months at this point?
He's one of the stars that came out of the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
He's from NXT.
He's been huge.
In the Shire.
He does look a little Shire-ish.
To me, I'm not a big fan of Neville.
No?
I like the move that he does, but, that's it.
The Red Arrow.
I can't get behind him other than that.
Okay. I'm enjoying him. I love that move. He does some other high-flying stuff, flying out of the ring, jumping off the ropes, that sort of stuff. I like it. It's entertaining.
I just can't get Lord of the Rings out of my mind.
Yeah. Maybe if he cuts his hair a little bit or something. Quits wearing the cape.
Thoughts on King Barrett?
I think it's a good spot for him. He's English, so he kind of sounds like a king to begin with. It kind of has passed up the bad news, though. We've got King now. He's not doing the bad news stuff anymore.
Yeah, I like the bad news better. It seems kind of old and corny to do, the scepter and the robe.
Yeah.
It's it's 2015.
Did they used to defend the King of the Ring in between? Like, could somebody beat him and then become the king? Was it like a title in the past? I don't really remember.
I think it's just more of an honor. Mm-hmm. We had, remember, King Booker.
I wasn't watching that.
Booker T. Who else was King of the Ring?
Harley Race was the original, I think, or Duggan. Duggan was early.
Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, King of the Ring.
Bret Hart, I think, won it. Macho Man. There were a few of them. I wasn't big on the King Macho thing, but yeah.
Well, I just want to say, they brought this up so quickly. They didn't build anything around it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of happened there on the network, like on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, it started on a Raw and then carried over to that, and it really, didn't have much build-up. And I wonder if they're just experimenting and trying to figure out, are people interested in this? What could we do with it? Because I think it also could have been a setup for Elimination Chamber. And I because that became a network-only thing, and it seemed like that just popped up out of nowhere. I kind of wonder about that with the Elimination Chamber. How did they sell those tickets to people? Did they advertise that it was going to be an Elimination Chamber, or did they just sell it as a Sunday Night Live event, and people got lucky and got a pay-per-view basically out of it?
All good questions. I don't know.
I might have to research some of that.
And then, go ahead.
I would like to see them keep doing the King of the Ring, make it a yearly thing again, but like you said, build it up more, maybe expand the field and have it be a bigger tournament, draw it out over, do it 2 weeks and have it culminate on a pay-per-view, something like that.
At least give us fans a chance to get excited about it and get behind it if we want to.
Mm-hmm. One other thing that came out right around then, the WWE had their earnings report, and I don't know if you caught any of that, but They had a really good first quarter of the year, and one of the main reasons that they listed for that is that WrestleMania made it into the first quarter this year versus last year when it was in the second quarter, so it kind of front-loaded their year. But one of the other things that I was going to point out to you that they listed as one of the reasons they're making so much money, Supercard.
Supercard. Yeah, as you know, we discuss Supercard here on the program, and every time we discuss something, through the roof.
Yes.
Let's quick go over Payback, one of the lackluster pay-per-views so far this year.
I think it had the best pre-show in a long time because it had the Macho Mandow and Axelmania as the Mega Powers going against the Ascension.
You know what? I don't like the this new Meta Powers or Mega Powers.
You're not on board with that?
I think it's an insult
to the memory of the Macho Man and Hogan.
Yes.
I love it.
The Mega Powers were huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It fits in, though, because the Ascension are always ripping on all these people that used to be around and how they're better than everybody. So I thought it was kind of funny to see him go against them.
Part of my problem is that Sandow's Macho Man is not something to be desired.
It's not top-notch.
He's one of the worst Macho Man impersonators I've ever seen.
Yeah. He's not the best at it, but still I enjoy it. They did a Sonic commercial, I think, on one of the last Raws, the two of them, and they just couldn't get over the shakes. They wanted to recreate that handshake between Savage and Hogan, and they couldn't get to it because they kept drinking their shakes. But
if you want to see a good Savage impersonation, you got to look up Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal?
Jay Lethal.
All right, I'll put that on my list of homework here. Jay Lethal and just Macho Man impersonation.
That's right.
Okay. I will look that up.
So what are the key issues we need to point out from Payback?
Payback. Well, let me look through my notes. I took very poor notes. I was on pain pills while I was watching this, I think. There was the Ziggler-Sheamus match, and I think this was the follow-up to the Kiss Me Arse match. And this was the one where it looked like they had to kind of abort the match early because Ziggler did a headbutt and got busted open like old school Ric Flair style. Like there was so much blood. And then they quick went into a finish with, I think it was a brogue kick, and Sheamus won. And that seems to kind of be dragging out. I think they're both in the Money in the Bank this week, aren't they?
Interesting. Yeah, it looks like he needed 10 stitches to the head.
It was... I think, was it Brock was bleeding a little bit at WrestleMania? There have been a few people get busted open lately, but I haven't seen anything like this unless somebody was blading. It was so quick and so much blood. It was nuts.
More blood, please. Remember in the 90s on some video games, you had the option to turn the blood on or off.
I don't
turn on the blood.
I wonder if you can do that nowadays. I haven't seen, Henry's been playing a little bit of that, but I haven't seen if they have the blood on there. So that was the first match. There was a tag title match, best 2 out of 3 falls. The New Day champions versus Cesaro and Kidd. Notes I had on this: Xavier Woods was on the apron and he yelled out "Freebird rule."
Yeah.
So
I did predict that the New Day would become champions.
Yeah. I also the one thing I really liked about the final fall, they did the old Killer Bees trick without masks, because it was Xavier wasn't wrestling. It was Kofi and Big E, and Kofi was hurt. Xavier went in and did the pin. The ref didn't notice it. Xavier rolled out, and he thought it was Kofi.
They pulled the old switcheroo.
Uh-huh.
You know who else did that recently? Is the Bella Twins.
Oh, did they?
They pulled the old switcheroo. That was cool. Surprise, surprise, John Cena defeated Rusev.
In the I Quit match, yeah.
Yeah, poor Rusev, our guy's down.
He's not doing too well lately. He's a broken man, I've heard.
I have nothing. I have no championship. I have no career. I have no woman. I'm just a broken man.
He's a broken man.
Rusev is a broken man.
Yeah, and the whole thing was
all because of John Cena.
He's apparently saying, I quit in Bulgarian or Russian, whatever language he speaks, and Lana throws in the towel for him. So then that leads to the breakup of Lana and Rusev.
Yeah, I don't like the new direction with Lana.
Her and Ziggler?
No.
It's weird. I don't know why they set it up like that.
It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. You know, they built up Rusev and Lana. When they first came out, I wasn't a fan. I didn't like them. They eventually grew on me.
Yeah.
And then they became an awesome force.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're buried in the dirt.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know where they were going to go with the whole Lana leaving thing, but I'm Rusev broke his foot, so I don't know if that threw things off, and now he can't compete because he was supposed to be, I think, in the Elimination Chamber and then got removed from that. So maybe the injury just derailed their plans.
Yeah, he's definitely seriously injured, so
yeah,
he'll be out.
I was disappointed to see him lose to Cena, though.
Truly a broken man.
Truly. Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. I don't think there was really anything there. I wasn't excited about that.
They're really burying old Bray Wyatt.
We also had Neville versus King Barrett as a follow-up, I think, to the King of the Ring.
Count out.
Yeah, Barrett just walked away. Neville won.
No interest in this feud.
The main event, though, I really liked.
Fatal four-way match for the championship.
Yep, Rollins, Reigns, Ambrose, and the Viper, Randy Orton. The highlight of the whole thing, obviously, was at the point where they beat up J&J Security, I think, was out of the picture. Kane was hurt. The three former Shield members teamed up, put Orton out of action, and then Rollins is sitting there and he puts his hand in the middle like they used to do with the Shield. And Ambrose and Reigns are on either side of them, and there's a long pause while you're waiting to see, and the crowd is kind of going nuts and hoping they're going to get back together. But then they decide, no, we're gonna beat Rollins up.
Yes, that would be great to get the Shield back together in time for WrestleMania 32.
You think it'll be that soon, huh?
I want to see the Wyatts versus the Shield.
That would be good
at WrestleMania.
And in the last couple Raws, we do have Harper and Rowan back together, so the Wyatt family looks like it's reforming.
That's right. And I heard they did the 3D, the Dudley Boys finisher.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what the Dudley Boys finisher is?
I don't.
Oh my God!
I missed that. That was part of the time I was.
You're an embarrassment to this program, sir.
I know. I try. So
all right,
that was Payback.
Let's jump into Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. This was another one like King of the Ring that just kind of popped up and all of a sudden it was happening. And I think they announced it like roughly at the Payback pay-per-view. Hey, 2 weeks from now we're having another big show.
That's right. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And it sounds like most of the motivation for that is that May was another month for new subscribers to get the network for free. They put the pay-per-view on a Sunday night, which is the last day of the month. If the new subscribers didn't want their auto-renew clause to kick in, they would have to unsubscribe in that 2-hour window after the end of the pay-per-view before the finish of the month. So it looked like it was a kind of a setup to keep subscribers.
But again, in my opinion, this is another lackluster pay-per-view without promotion, without build-up.
I actually really like the pay-per-view, but yeah, it didn't have, it only had 2 weeks.
Probably the standout match was Kevin Owens defeating the U.S. champ John Cena.
Owens is impressive, yeah. He showed up on a couple Raws. He showed up here, and he's just pounded Cena, and it's been impressive.
Everybody wants to see the garbage man beat up the jock.
Mm-hmm, and that's happening. Owens, yeah, I like Owens. He's pretty good with the mic, too. I like where he and Cena are going. And they're going again tomorrow night, I think, right? Yeah, I think they're at Money in the Bank. Yeah, they got another match. Mm-hmm. Some other things. I had never seen an Elimination Chamber match before, and they have like these plexiglass pods that they're in, and in the one match, not the tag team match, but the IC title match, at one point Ziggler gets tossed through one of the pieces of plexiglass by Barrett. So then Mark Henry is just loose to come out of his pod before his time.
Somebody gonna get their butt whipped.
And then at one point, Sheamus gets locked in. The ref can't get him out, so he has to use his big Celtic cross to get himself out later. But I'm just wondering, why didn't he just pop the plexiglass out? Because we obviously know that he can do that.
Just break right through it.
Yeah. The tag team match was kind of crazy. It was in the chamber. El Torito gets in and gets right on top of the pod that the Matadors are going to be in. And then the Lucha Dragons were in it too. And Kalisto at one point is up on the top. He climbs all the way up and then drops from the peak of the cage down onto a pile of bodies. Torito did some sort of drop from, I don't remember who he dropped onto, the Ascension or something, but yeah, he dropped down off the top.
Yeah, he looks like a little spider.
Yeah.
Crawling up in that cage.
Big, in the tag team match, the New Day managed to keep their title. They had all 3 guys in the pod too, so yeah, definitely Freebirds.
Or a lizard.
Lizard, yeah.
Freebird rules still in play, aren't they?
Yeah, it seems to be. And then I think tomorrow night we've got Kofi in the ladder match, so then it's going to be Big E and Xavier defending the belts. But yeah, they've been changing it up. I liked in the tag team match, the Ascension had a pretty good showing. They beat some people up before they were eliminated, so I think they're trying to strengthen them back up again too.
Interesting.
What other matches do we have? The IC title match. What do you think of our new Intercontinental Champion? The Ryback, as Daniel Bryan called him.
The Ryback. He's the IC champ now?
Uh-huh. He won that. He won that match. It was it was Ryback, your boy R-Truth, Sheamus, King Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, and Mark Henry, I think, replaced Rusev.
Here we go. I'm going to do it.
You going to do it?
Feed me more.
That's pretty good.
Feed me more.
Even the 2-year-old around here doesn't feed me more.
Me more. Hold on. Finish it.
So he's the champ. What do you think?
Woo. I don't know. Can't get behind Ryback.
Not a big Ryback fan?
Nah. Never been a big fan of Ryback.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised. But, I mean, of that group, who would you most have wanted to see have the belt? It wouldn't fit Mark Henry, right? What do they do when they get a really big guy with the belt? Do they put an extender on there, or do they just not ever put it around their waist?
I'm stuck here. I'm sorry, say that again?
What do they do if they have a big guy like Mark Henry that wins the title? Does he get a belt extension, or does he just never put it on his waist?
I'm sure they've got him for the big guys if they need him.
Has he been the champ before?
Mark Henry?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Heavyweight champ?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, besides Ryback, who else would you want to win there? Truth, obviously, probably, right? From you?
R-Truth, baby.
Yeah.
He would be fun.
I wouldn't want to see Sheamus with it. Barrett always gets hurt.
Yeah.
Ziggler just had it.
Well, yeah, I would agree. Ryback probably deserved a win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else, I think, that was in that picture kind of has been elevated up to the heavyweight title, so that kind of left him. What other match? Oh, my guy there, Bo Dallas, was involved in a singles match at the event. It was him versus Neville. Have you been catching that angle?
Bo
keeps coming up, trying to offer advice to Neville and help him out, but now he's just mad and he wants to hurt him. I love that Bo is back. He did shave off the evil Bo beard, but he's still healing it up, and I love Bo Dallas.
Nice.
One other match, the Elimination Chamber event, was the heavyweight title, and that was what was it? Ambrose versus Rollins. And this is the one where they had the Dusty finish. Ambrose pins Rollins. They get the 3 count. He gets the belt. The referee was knocked out. They had a replacement ref come in. First ref wakes up, says that no, Rollins pulled me in front of Ambrose. He's disqualified. Ambrose wins, but does not get the title because it can't change hands on a DQ. The old Dusty finish. So then Ambrose leaves with the belt. I think Reigns comes out and helps him, and they wade out through the crowd with the belt. And Ambrose is left in the ring looking shocked. I liked it. I thought it was a good match.
I think people are excited about Ambrose being in that picture.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's definitely in there. He's going again tomorrow night, right? In the 2 Raws after that too, he keeps showing up with the belt. In the one in New Orleans, he was running around taking pictures all over town with the belt, and shows up in the crowd. And Reigns and Ambrose are back together, kind of like a portion of the Shield back together. That's been fun. You want to talk about some of the 2 Raws in between Elimination Chamber and now, just to get us all the way up to speed?
Sure, yeah. What do you got?
June 1st, your boys, the Prime Time Players, come out and save Dolph Ziggler. And then it turned into a 6-man tag team matchup.
Yeah.
Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million.
That's right, Hammer. I predicted on this program, Primetime Players are now #1 contenders.
Yeah. We got a title match tomorrow night. The thing that really impressed me about their match when it turned into the 6-man tag, Titus O'Neil was throwing people around like they were nothing.
I know, man. He's just so huge. I don't understand why they don't do more with him.
He could be the heavyweight title holder.
For sure.
He's a monster.
He could just walk out there and crush people.
Apparently behind the scenes, though, he had wanted the singles push, which is why he split up the Primetime Players, but then that wasn't working out, so now he brought the Primetime Players back.
Yeah, I like Primetime Players, so
I think
I'm
you're
good
right.
with it.
I think they will have the title. I don't know how soon they will, though, because I do love the way that the New Day are healing it up. They're doing a great job.
Yep, I would agree. I think it's going to build.
Did you notice, too, at this Raw, first commercial that I saw for our Raw the week before SummerSlam, they had a commercial for the Minneapolis event. And the tickets, we've had our tickets for, 2-3 months at this point, but the tickets actually went on sale last Saturday, I think.
Sweet.
We're already all set.
Right.
Other notes from that Raw, Roman Reigns had to go through 3 matches to be able to stay in the Money in the Bank match, and he had to beat Bad News Barrett, or King Barrett, I guess he is now, World's Strongest Man Mark Henry, and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I don't like that he won all those matches.
You didn't want to see him in the...
It makes all those other guys look weak.
Yeah.
But you got to make Roman look strong.
Yeah, oh yeah. That was also the night of the Stone Cold podcast.
The Stone Cold. All right, let's get into that.
You want to talk about him and Heyman?
Stone Cold Steve Austin cut a promo, did he not?
He did, oh yeah.
He said he was going to whip Brock Lesnar's ass, WrestleMania 32, and it's got to be a Texas death match.
Mm-hmm. He turned on a dime, too. Heyman proposed the question. And
he got
went full
100%
promo.
into character.
Mm-hmm.
He got us all excited for the Steve Weisers.
You think it happens?
I don't know.
He's backed off a lot.
Money
then.
talks.
Yeah.
He immediately backed off and retracted and said, oh, well, I didn't mean to try to book myself in a match at WrestleMania. But you did, sir.
Yeah.
You did, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That'd be a great match.
You owe us this.
It's in Texas. They got a big building they got to fill. But I think there's a better place for Brock to show up.
Who do you want Brock to face?
Boy, at that point next year, I don't think I'd mind seeing him face Roman Reigns again. That was a good match.
What?
Yeah, I like that match. He's not going to face Undertaker again. I don't want...
Here we go. This is the new theme song for Roman Reigns is leaked on this show.
Believe that.
Believe that.
Believe that. Believe that.
Yeah, I think Roman Reigns is a little bit more fan-friendly now. It seems that Dean Ambrose is putting him over.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Making him look good.
Yep. Those two, I think they're good together, too.
Let's bring the Shield back, people.
I love, too, they've also had comments between the two of them, like when they were in those matches together. Let's beat everybody else, and then between us, the loser buys beer. So you can tell they're still buddying around, which is good. Speaking of the Shield, though, the Raw on the 8th, there was a Rollins and J&J Security have now split up and actually are fighting. And at one point, J&J referenced themselves as Shield 2.0. They said, we're like Shield 2.0. And then it all fell apart and they started fighting. So they may have been Shield 2.0, but they did not last nearly as long as Shield 1.0.
You gotta love, J&J Security.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see where they fit in tomorrow night, if they get involved or not. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all the Raw stuff. You know, the one thing, though, that I was thinking about as I was watching that last Raw, when you were a kid, when did you watch wrestling?
Saturday mornings.
Uh-huh. They don't have a program on the weekends anymore. When are kids supposed to watch this stuff?
There was Superstars was on Saturdays for a long time.
Yeah. Recently? Not recently, right?
But since the network is on, people watch when they want to watch. So
Yeah. But I think
times have changed, Hammer.
I think what they need, and I think this is a big mistake they're making, is I think that to get new fans, to get the kids, they need to have something on television so a kid can just flip on the TV and watch wrestling on Saturdays.
Did you watch any of the Rockin' Wrestling cartoons?
No, I didn't really watch those. I think I probably watched a couple just to see what they were like. But I think at that point I was a little older than watching cartoons.
They're old and cheesy.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. I mean, to get somebody to pay for the network, I think you got to hook them first. And Raw is one thing, but to get a younger kid, they're not staying up that late. They're not going to see the main event on Raw. They need something on the weekends, I think.
That's true. They also used to have like a 1 hour recap of Raw on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it all changed because of the network.
Yeah. Maybe the app will do it, but I don't know. I still think they need something on free TV on the weekends to try to draw kids in. I remember there used to be, for a while, there was some AWA on ESPN, like after school, too, and that was another gateway, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah. I just want to remind everybody that you can find us at Wrestlinks.com. You can catch all of our previous episodes. If you listen, one by one, you can hear us each week, each month, improving the program, bringing more news to the forefront, including local wrestling news. Now, last week, I attended Minnesota Extreme Wrestling at the Don Hanson VFW in Ham Lake, Minnesota.
That is a world-renowned venue for wrestling.
It was quite an event.
How many people were there aside from you?
There was likely 30 to 60 people there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a small venue, but it's fun to go, see these guys. The champ is 6% body fat, Rob James.
That's his name, 6% body fat, Rob James?
That's it. He cut a pretty funny promo. There were some old school guys. There was this guy called Dirty Ernie, and he kind of put the boots to the guy called Big Q Bundy.
Any relation to King Kong Bundy?
I think the black singlet and the bald head and the round figure.
He was trying to definitely draw that comparison.
Yes, it was great. Good stuff. We'll definitely get into some more local events, and we'll try to recap those here on the program.
You put some video up on the site too, didn't you?
That's right, at our Facebook page, Wrestlinks. Get at us at the site, Wrestlinks.com. Click on our Facebook link, and you'll get all the updates there.
What was the crowd like? Were they really into it? Did they know the wrestlers? Were they regular attendees?
There were some regular attendees there. There was a chant created by a regular there, and he started saying, "Tiny penis."
Was that towards Q Bundy?
Folks, there was a tiny penis chant in Ham Lake, Minnesota at the VFW.
Do you think that will happen at the Raw before SummerSlam?
Yes.
Which wrestler will
We
be
are going to
directed
start yelling tiny penis.
It's going to be the Minnesota calling card for wrestling events. Did you chat with anybody in the crowd? Were there people dressed up as wrestlers?
No dressed up as wrestlers, just some typical wrestling fans.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Were there any people in the crowd with title belts? Because I know that when we go to Raw, there are a lot of people with title belts.
There weren't any title belts, but they were selling jewelry under $5 in the back.
What kind of jewelry?
They had some fancy rings and necklaces.
Like wrestling related? Or?
Everything was under $5. So the announcer in the ring, between every match, he would say, let me remind you right back here, we've got everything under $5.
Like, was it related to wrestling at all, or was it just
I don't know.
you didn't go look?
I don't know how to describe it. You have to go and experience it.
But
we'll
they weren't like wrestling belt earrings or anything like that.
No, they were like skull rings and like gypsy type stuff.
So the stuff you'd find at like a flea market or
exactly
or
at carnival.
A carnival. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they have like T-shirts and merch for the wrestlers at all?
Yes, that some do actually have merch. 6% body fat Rob James had his gear out there.
Are you wearing that today? Let me see.
No.
Oh, wow. You left it at home?
I did not support any local wrestlers other than going to the show.
Do the wrestlers themselves sell the merch, or do they have a merch person?
I believe there was a table there with some merch guys.
Okay. So just T-shirts, or
they do sign autographs and whatnot afterwards.
So you can buy like an 8x10 and get it autographed.
Sure.
By 6% body fat Billy
yep.
Bob.
Yeah, we'll definitely go and check out more events there.
If I weren't hobbled, I would have gone with you, but yeah, I'm in for the next show.
Sweet.
So local scene. Have I ever told you about the time I went and I saw some local wrestling up in Hill City, Minnesota?
Hill City. No, go.
It was I don't remember how we found out about it, but I was in high school and I don't know if we'd been watching wrestling much, but all of a sudden there was this event and we went over there, and it was I don't know how many people live in Hill City, maybe 200. It's a tiny little place, and there were 2 bars, and there was a vacant lot in between them, and they basically hung a tarp up in front of the street so that you couldn't just see in. And they had a ring set up out there with some bleachers pulled in, and I don't remember, $5-10 to get in, whatever it was. We're in there. There were, I think, 4 or 5 of us, and probably, I don't know, less than 100 people in there. But it was, a lot of people in there. And the wrestlers would change in the one bar in the bathroom, and then they'd come out and have the match. And the highlight of the whole thing was we saw this one guy, I think it was Tom the Seal. And this is back probably in the early 90s, so I think he was supposedly like a Gulf War veteran.
Like a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, like a Navy SEAL.
I was picturing like an ocean SEAL going,
no, nothing like that. So he wrestled.
George the Animal SEAL.
Tom the Seal has this match early in the card. And then, he goes back in and changes and stuff. And then there's supposed to be a women's title match. But I think the champion got in a car accident driving to the event, so she wasn't there.
Wow.
So the woman who was the challenger is in the ring with the microphone. Actually, I don't even think she had a microphone. I think she was just yelling. And she was like, I'm not, I want to get paid. I want to have my match. I'll take on anybody in the crowd. And nobody got up. There were some bikers and stuff there, and I thought somebody would take her up on it, but nobody did. So finally, Tom the Seal comes back out and wrestles this woman, and she beats him.
Tom the Seal. Oh, yeah.
It was tons of fun.
Yeah, and if you are in Minnesota, I just want to mention there are 3 events alone tonight in Minnesota. We've got Independent Wrestling International at the historic Mounds Theater in St. Paul. We've got Minnesota Independent Wrestling at In Cahoots in Medina, Minnesota. We've also got Bell to Bell Wrestling at the Black Horse Bar and Grill in Winona. It's amazing.
Really? That's a lot of little shows.
Minnesota is the land of independent wrestling.
Apparently.
And Wrestlinks Review is on the forefront.
We are going to have to get to some shows. We're going to have a local desk that can cover all these things for us.
All right, so let's get into our picks for tomorrow night's Money in the Bank.
All right. I have the card in no particular order. It looks like, I think the pre-show is going to be your boy R-Truth versus King Barrett.
King Barrett versus R-Truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty obvious who's going to win this. King Barrett.
King Barrett. That's what I'm going with, too.
Yeah. It's a kickoff match.
Will he need to have spiders to beat R-Truth?
And let me say this. Why is King Barrett in the kickoff match? He won the King of the Ring.
I don't know.
Come on, Vince.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches. Yeah, I guess they just don't have a spot for him. I thought, wasn't he at one point? No, that was the IC match he was in at the Elimination Chamber. So, let me see. I'm gonna go in order of my liking of the matches. So the next one, for the Divas title,
The Divas Championship match.
Nikki versus Paige.
Heated rivalry.
Paige has been gone for a while, right? Was she shooting a movie or something? Or
I don't think she's been gone.
hasn't she? I thought she had been gone for a while.
I didn't notice.
Well. Who you got?
Who you got?
I'll go with. I think Nikki's had the title longer than anybody for a good stretch of years, so I'm gonna go with Paige to beat Nikki Bella.
I want to see the old switcheroo again. I think her sister will interfere once again.
To get the win for Nikki.
Brie Bella, yes.
Okay.
Look out for Brie.
All right, so you've got Nikki, I've got Paige. How about the next match being the IC title match? Your boy Ryback versus the Big Show.
Oh my God, this is really happening.
Ryback did the shell shock on the Big Show, and I was actually impressed when he did it.
Well, that's cool.
That's a lot of beef to pick
Maybe
up.
they'll do that again.
I think
Why is Big Show still in the ring?
I don't know. he doesn't seem to be with the Authority anymore. There was really no explanation for him splitting off from them.
This guy needs to get tough and mean and just crush people.
Yeah.
He's a giant.
I think
They treat him like a big baby.
he did in the what event was that? Was it the Payback where he kept going, "I'm a giant." Did you see that? And he would, like, Roman Reigns gets the table out and then Show puts it away. I'm a giant. I think Ryback keeps the title.
Yep. Ryback retains. He just won.
Okay.
Here we go. WWE Tag Team Championship match. The New Day versus my guys, the Primetime Players.
Oh, this should be a good match. And we know it's what, Xavier and Big E, because Kofi will be in the big Money in the Bank match later.
Freebird rules, though.
Yeah, who knows what happens with that. Boy, I'm gonna stick with New Day. I think they retain.
Yeah, I'll stick with New Day. Primetime Players aren't going anywhere, though. They'll be back.
I like seeing them in the picture. That's they could have some great matches.
Making $1 million moves.
I want to see Titus just throw people around.
So there you have it. We've both got New Day to win.
Yep. What match you want to go next?
Let's go with...
Do you want to save the two ladder matches for last and do Cena Owens?
Yeah, let's get into John Cena versus the Garbage Man, Kevin Owens. And I don't know why they don't add that little moniker there. I think that'd be sweet.
The Garbage Man?
The Garbage Man, Kevin Owens.
The Garbage Man from Montreal.
It's just something about the guy makes me want to shave my beard. He just makes me want to itch.
Boy. Okay, so Owens beat Cena, right? So that's where we're at.
That's it.
This one is not for a title. They're both title holders. Has this ever happened before? I mean, in the last year it hasn't, but have we ever seen the NXT title come up to the main roster before like this?
I've not, no.
So
I think this is new. We've seen a lot of NXT people like Neville.
Sami Zayn was up and hurt. Like the Ascension, right, came up.
I guess they're forcing these NXT folks down our throat.
Lucha Dragons, weren't they coming up from NXT?
That's right.
I actually watched a little NXT on the network one of these weeks when I was laid up, and I got to see the Vaudevillains, the tag team. Have you seen those guys?
Huh.
They're kind of...
The Vaudevillains.
Yeah, they're kind of interesting. They're like an old-timey, full-body bathing suit era tag team. And I don't know. They look interesting. Yep. But, I don't know. This isn't for a title. It's just a match. I think I'm going Owens.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a return bout. They're really not fighting for a title.
No.
They're just fighting to fight. I think something's going to happen just to keep this feud going. I'm going to say draw, interference.
Okay.
There won't be a clean finish like the last time.
Okay.
They already did a clean finish. I don't see either man winning.
I think it would be tough to have Cena come out of beating Rusev, 3 in a row, then to lose 2-3 in a row to Owens. But
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I'm
He
still
totally
going Owens.
buried Rusev and then gets beat by Kevin Owens the next month.
Maybe Owens is the new monster.
Ridiculous.
I do like Owens.
The Garbage Man, Kevin Owens.
Cena's been putting a lot of people over. I love the U.S. Open Challenge. He's spotlighting a lot of these guys.
But he still has the belt.
Yeah.
He will never lose.
Money in the Bank next or heavyweight title match?
Let's talk the Money in the Bank contract ladder match with Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, Neville, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Sheamus, and Kane.
With this match, well, we'll get to that in a bit, but I don't know. I haven't thought about this, so I don't know who I like to win here. Reigns, I think, is obviously the first guy I think of as the likely person to win. But do you give him Royal Rumble? You almost had him beat Brock at WrestleMania. Do you give him the Money in the Bank too?
I would like to see Dolph Ziggler win this match.
You think so?
Yeah, he's good with the
Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
and he's won it before, right?
That's right.
What's his? Let me look back here. I went through and I compiled a bunch of stuff on the previous Money in the Bank to see who had won the most and that stuff.
This is going to be kind of a brawl match. You know, you got big guys like Sheamus.
Yeah.
You got Kane.
Yep.
You've got,
Orton's kind of on that end. Reigns is a bigger guy.
Brawlers.
And then you got the little guys.
Two high flyers, yeah.
I mean, Kofi just gets in there for high spots. He's got no chance to win.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe part of the heel New Day.
No, that could be.
I mean, that would be creative and fun and different, so we can't expect that.
Yeah. Dolph's been in 1-1. Kane he's won 1. Actually, you know what? Tomorrow night, Kane becomes the all-time leader in Money in the Bank matches.
Interesting.
He will have done the most. He and Christian right now have done 6, and that'll put him at 7. I don't think Kane has. Oh, God, maybe Kane. I mean, he's got the whole thing going with Seth Rollins and the Authority splitting up. And
I've got to be totally honest. I don't really care about this match. I can't get behind any of these guys.
I'm going to go with the most likely guy for my pick. I'm picking Roman Reigns. Do you want Ziggler? Do you pick him?
I'm picking Ziggler. Ziggler to win.
Okay. I'm curious to see it. I love these matches. I mean, the ladder makes it a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm curious to see which way it's going to spin out. Orton could win.
That's true.
I think Orton could win.
Put him back in the picture.
Neville, I don't think will. I think he's going to have some great spots. So I think the two least likely to win. Boy, man, you talked me into Kofi. Kofi could have a chance. I'm going to go Reigns, though.
Here we go.
Heavyweight match?
The World Heavyweight title is also a ladder match.
Rollins Ambrose.
The controversy will be settled at Money in the Bank.
Well, do you think Ambrose has the title right now, but Rollins is actually the champ? Do you think that changes?
That's tough, man. It would be good to get a fresh change, a new champ. It's hard to say.
I'm going to pick Rollins. I think he's going to keep the title. I think they've given Ambrose the belt for the last couple weeks and just to see what he looks like and see how people react to him with the belt.
Yep.
I think they're going to draw this out more, and I think Rollins is going to keep it.
Yeah, I think something's going to happen. Are these guys going to fight? Are they going to smash each other with that ladder?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be some great spots.
Good deal.
The night that it looked like Ambrose won the title, the mood in this house was insane. In like the minute or so before the ref said that he didn't actually have the title, there were little boys jumping all over the place, going nuts. So
little Dynamite and Stink got excited.
They were super excited about Ambrose as the champ. They actually don't accept that he doesn't have the title for real. So.
Well, there you go.
Who'd you go with? You went Ambrose or you went Rollins?
I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins.
Rollins, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so those are our picks. You want to talk about? As I was preparing for this, I went back and did a bunch of history work on the Money in the Bank.
The previous Money in the Banks. What you got? Some highlights for us?
Highlights.
To end the show with.
First Money in the Bank ever held at WrestleMania 21 in 2005. So this would actually be the 10th year that we've had Money in the Bank.
Nice, 10 years.
It was held at WrestleMania from 2005 to 2010 just as a regular match, and then in 2010 it became a standalone pay-per-view as we know it now.
Cool.
Chris Jericho is the guy that pitched the match to Eric Bischoff, and they threw it into WrestleMania that year. As I was reading about it, wrestlers actually used to defend the briefcase just like a title, so they could put that on the line and lose it during the year or the time that they had it.
Yep. So that's why they added the contract
Okay.
bit. Now they call it a contract.
So now they can't because their name is on the contract, so they
Yep.
can't defend it.
They can cash it in at any time.
Yes.
Anywhere.
The longest somebody held the briefcase was 270 days, and that was Edge. The shortest time, in 2010, Kane cashed it in the same night.
Nice.
So I was actually kind of thinking we might see something like that. If, say, Reigns wins the Money in the Bank, Ambrose beats Rollins up, and he's injured, we could see a Roman Reigns title reign start tomorrow. Edge was the first person to ever have the briefcase twice because he won the Money in the Bank in 2005, but then in 2007 he beat Mr. Kennedy in a match for the briefcase. In 2010 at WrestleMania 26 there were 10 men in the Money in the Bank match, which is the most ever. In 2012 for the WWE title they only had 5 guys, which was the least ever in a Money in the Bank match. Let's see. Cena was the first person ever to win the Money in the Bank but not win the title. He actually announced ahead of time when he was going to cash it in, so gave away the element of surprise and then did not win the title. Sandow did it the next year and also lost. Rollins was the first person this year to ever cash in while a match was in progress. That had never happened before.
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved it.
Great finish.
We were all surprised.
We already talked about the most Money in the Bank matches. Kane and Christian each have 6, and Kane will go to 7 tomorrow night and become the all-time leader. Yeah, those are the highlights of the Money in the Bank.
Any mentions of CM Punk there?
CM Punk, yeah, he's won the most. He's the only guy to ever win 2 Money in the Banks. He appeared in 3 different matches and won 2. He won at WrestleMania 24 and then held the title held the Money in the Bank for 92 days before cashing in. The next year, he won at WrestleMania 25 and held for 63 days before cashing in.
Interesting facts and figures, Mike.
Money in the Bank tomorrow night.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening. This is your host, Flyin Ryan, with Mike the Hammer. Check us out at Wrestlinks.com. Thanks for listening to the Wrestlinks Review.